without the ability to meet in person, even for the committees, the people who have been participating on committees have been extremely frustrated at the way in which the normal deliberative process has unfolded. I think I can say that almost across the board. Nothing can replace the in-person session, and yet we know as parliamentarians we have to abide by the health restrictions that our chief medical officers and others have put in front of us.
You moved actually seamlessly on to the next issue that I wanted to discuss, because I think sometimes even more in committees, you lose the pace of the way in which that takes place, particularly when you've got a witness. And the great advantage in committees is you can come back with successive questions, which is clearly impossible in the parliamentary, in the full Commons, in the full chamber. But you are able to come back, and therefore you manage to dig much deeper into an issue of why a particular engine has failed, and whether that was a series of accidents or whether it was systemic, and was that due to design or maintenance. And it's very difficult to do that when you're doing that from a series of remote locations. And it's not the case of just catching the chairman's eye. And I know we have these notes and everything that enable you to do some of it, but I think we actually lose in many ways more in the committees. It facilitates some of the committees' work. It enables us to take evidence from people transatlantic, which we did only last week. But at the same time, I think we lose a lot, particularly in getting really to the bottom of issues. And from what you're saying is that seems to be a frustration in Canada as well.
I think it's fair to say that that is exactly what the experience has been. I mean, we know that committees can often be a great way for cross-party cooperation and understanding as well, because it's a smaller group of MPs. They're working together and hearing testimony at the same time. But when they're physically apart from each other, you lose that dynamic. And it's almost as though it's not like they're anonymous when they're presenting and or doing their part of the questioning, but their physical and sort of technical distance from the actual heart of the matter in some ways makes it a little bit easier for them to perhaps treat that exchange in a different way, and perhaps not as one that's as aware of the kind of dynamics that would normally be in the room. So you really lose something there, I think. And again, you know, we understand the reasons why, but I think it points us in the direction of finding ways to get back to more of that in-person connection to do the work of Parliament. I think our Westminster system, it was all designed around that, and we've all come to appreciate the virtues of it. And so it's very difficult for us to sort of back away from it, and we miss some of the, yes, certainly adversarial elements that raise these key questions, but also some of the camaraderie that can be had through it as well.